All right, hello, I'm Zeos from Z Reviews, and we are about to talk about one of the most talked about amplifiers to hit the world. Where is it? Oh, it's under the headphone stand by DD Hi-Fi. So this FANGSOUND Silenos is what that fucking doesn't say. What am I smoking? Okay. So, excuse me, ma'am, I have to look at the things. So this is a $460 amplifier with an R2R DAC and a preamp and GON power supplies that delivers out of the headphone out 14 watts. And it's $460. You can see why people are fucking excited. And I'm going to have to quell the excitement a little bit. I was a little concerned because obviously Valencia's got like 17 watts. And then I remembered, oh wait, FANGSOUND is not Orchard Audio. And so I had to do a little bit of checking. And by a little bit of checking, I mean fucking lots of checking. And it's going to be sad news for the FANGSOUND, but good news for me. So let me go over what I've discovered, because we could read all the specs all day. Amplifier THD plus noise, it says 0.002% at 16 volts at 1 kilohertz. Yet the amplifier output voltage and power output never say less than 1%. And then they actually do mention 10% distortion at 14 watts, which is not great. Even 1% distortion is not great. Let's unit tour this. I'm going to have to unplug everything. Let me pause girls, because that's where the DAC is coming from. Let me pause girl, because there's a lot to show here. And I'm going to power this off. And we're going to unplug this, and we're going to have to, we'll do the dance. There's a dance we have to do. You're off. Okay, good. Sweet. There we go. So, hewn from a block of aluminum that looks really good. They make 3 of these, by the way. This is the baby one for $460. There's a medium one, which I haven't gotten a hold of, and Linsel doesn't have yet. I think Mimic does. Then there's a massive one that looks like a fucking kitchen grill. That's like half the size of this mouse pad. And eventually, I'm sure I'll get that one. That one's like $4,000. And hopefully what they do is they improve the amplification. Because here's the thing. You look at this, and it's like, that's an amp that has got 1/4-inch output, although I fucking hate the locking plugs. We'll talk about that. Balanced output, 4.4 output, 3.5 output, an amber on LED. I should be already popping the champagne bottles. It's got an amber DAC LED. It's got a nice volume knob. It's nice and smooth. It says some crazy shit in like, I don't know, Half-Life, Russian, like, what the fuck is this? Because that doesn't say Silenos or FANGSOUND. That's just gibberish as far as I know. Please correct me in the comments. It's got this wonderfully designed heatsink set up here where they just machined out the edges. And it's got the right color. And the back of it is just as jam-packed. We have separate inputs for your own DAC, which we'll be talking about. You get your on-off power switch in the back, which is obviously a negative, because welcome to Z Reviews. Your high-low gain, because you fucking need that. Let me tell you, that low gain don't go low enough. It says FANGSOUND here, AC 100 to 240, so it's universal. You get your DAC input, which is USB-C only. And you get a very poorly printed and cut out pre-out. See how it cuts the words off? And that was kind of when I was like, because before I got this in-house, literally the world has been a buzz. The audiophile, oh my God, it's going to be able to power tungsten. It's going to be able to do this. It's going to be able to do that. Oh, it's going to be so great. The greatest thing that's ever lived. And when I pulled it out of the box, which I don't even know what the box is. The box was kind of shit. And then I saw that the pre-out was cut. Like it's completely printed wrong. I'm like, oh, it's going to be one of those, isn't it? Where it's got this mysticism about it, but I'm going to have to go and put it in its fucking place. All right, fine. Let's play. So the bottom has no feet. I think they might have come in the box. It says Silenos. There's my serial number. It says model Silenos prototype all-in-one decoder, headphone amplifier, and preamplifier. And then many, many, many small fucking words down here. It's a rather hefty unit since it is mostly aluminum. The inside of these is pretty empty, actually, because the GON amp, the fact that this is taking 110 and then giving you 100 watts of low voltage for the amplifiers to run on, because it can't be a GON FET amp. You can't run Class D amps for headphone out. That's why the Valencia is Class AB, and all of Leo's other amps are Class D and GON FET. So, but you could use the power supply can be GON FET and make it super efficient. Now, how do we want to begin this? Because I've been using it for a while now on this desk. People have been yelling at me, "Yes, do the thing, do the brown box." I've been using it externally DAC'd. I've got the big Gishelli Labs DayZ behind the desk, and I've been running into this. And the problem is when I plug just straight DAC, so like not a lowered volume, just a full fuck DAC into the back of it, and power. There's three things. Running headphones and IMs, even on low gain, was approximately that. I'm saying approximately because sometimes I could take it up as far as that high, but never higher than that. Like it is dumb. Dumbpowerdelivery.com.org. So what I did to solution that temporarily is the same thing I recommended for Valencia people, is I have these adjustable chokes, these microphone chokes, which let me drop 10, 20, or 30 dB off of the actual signal. So if you want to use an R2R, if you want to use Valencia, but you're afraid of your volume control being too sensitive, they sell 15 decibel versions of this that are just singular, or these ones I think are $30, where you can just select how much you want it to choke the volume down. So I've been running this pretty much on -20 from the DayZ DAC, and that has made it a much more tolerable unit. All right, now these are not labeled left and right. That's another one of those magical things that this unit does, is just makes you guess. It's like, I don't know, maybe that's right. I mean, it technically should be. It's on the right-hand side when you're looking at it from the front. And power plug, I hope this is going to reach. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Everything's going to be fine. So we get it in there. We flip the switch. We got the amber on light. Good to go. We can listen to music on this. So now we're listening on the DayZ through this amplifier. We'll guess we'll tungsten first, because everyone's just sucking wind. Like, oh, tungsten. Can the tungsten be powered by it? Spoiler alerts, yes. Other spoiler alerts, it doesn't sound as good as you may hope. So we're here now. Next track. I probably could take away the entirety of the chokes, honestly. Can I get a song that's actually got music? Okay. So even with 10 decibels on the chokes. So if I just took those out and plugged those XLRs together, plugged the XLRs directly, this would be 10 decibels louder. We're on high gain. I would say 1 o'clock. This is running pretty much as loud as I'd ever want to run tungsten. As loud as I want to run tungsten. But we are lacking some stuff. And we're going to get into the lackingness and how I figured that out, because it took a lot of wires. A lot of wires were required to answer, well, is this a good amplifier? And I'll just spoiler it right now. Not really. Yeah, I think it's a very powerful amplifier, but this is a better DAC preamp than amp. I had it set up as follows. USB-C coming out of the laptop, feeding the R2R DAC in this unit, and I plug tungsten into the front of it. And I turn the volume knob up, and it sounds... Well, it doesn't sound great. It sounded okay. We are not lacking in power, but it felt like... I don't want to say warm, because it wasn't warm. It was like compressed and a little bit like fuzzy. And at the same time, while that was going on, I had the pre-out, which you know is a 4.4. I had this guy here. Hold on, we'll just put that back in there. Ugh. By the way, the only way to switch from the internal DAC to the external DAC is by unplugging the USB, which is annoying. But so right now, the way we're looking at this right now is external DAC into this, powering tungsten. Now, we do have the pre-out set, so we can kill that, do this, do that. And it sounds... Hold on. The high-low gain, by the way, does affect the pre-out. And now it's making Valencia sound a little bit warm, which is fine. I don't mind Valencia sounding a little bit warm. But if we come... Okay, I'm listening to it there. Come out of that. Go right back into the front of this. Yeah, it's completely like something's off. And then I'm like, all right, so that means the amplifier's not great. Not the greatest. It's $460, and it's got an R2R DAC in it. I thought the DAC was going to be like a side note. I thought they were going to spend all this time and money and build quality on the amplifier, which is obviously it's designed to be a big fucking amplifier. And then the DAC was just going to be nonchalant nothingness. However, if we unplug this just for convenience of the goddamn, please don't have 900 wires across my fucking desk. Psycho shit. We plug in the DAC. Ugger. That light comes on. So now you have both lights on. Queen. Cool. So now we're listening. I believe in you. You just don't want to be free. Anybody find me? Okay, so now I'm listening to the DAC in this just being output through the little baby preamp. So all this has now is the digital signal coming in, becoming a DAC, outputting through the 4.4 into the XLRs into Valencia. And that sounds fucking amazing. Here. I do this. And I can just... It's like it doesn't sound good in its own internal DAC. This sounds better with an external DAC than its internal DAC through its own headphone out. But it sounds better as a preamp source into something else using its internal DAC versus an external DAC preamp. Do you understand why I'm losing my fucking mind? Like, bottom line is, if you want to run tungsten for cheap, this will do it. It's still not the best solution. There are better solutions with big fucking speaker amps, or I don't want to suck Valencia's dick anymore, but there are better things in this. I'm hoping the medium-sized one of these really concentrates on the cleanliness of the amplifier. We should probably talk about the amplifier some more. Let's move you away, because you are very pretty. Can I get the light to shine on that perfect, like, rainbow bullshit? Where's my rainbow bullshit? It used to be so much easier to find it. Okay, putting you on the side. Excuse me. There we go. That makes much more of the sense is to put this on the pretty nice stand. Okay, boom. So now, here's the thing. That was the first 10, 12 minutes of this video, and it was all about tungsten. Now, only about 250 people own tungsten, maybe 300 people own tungsten. I know that's how slow things go. So what about, other headphones? Holy fuck. Don't. So, internal DAC. We're going to shut off the Orchard for a second. Internal DAC, low gain, volume as low. I just make sure it's fucking low. So, Eris is the easiest to drive headphone in the house. I don't know why, but that's just how it came out. And I'm going to put it not on my ears, but just slightly in front of my ears because I don't trust the volume knob. Okay, so now, low gain, internal DAC. So those chokes aren't doing anything because they're not even wired up. Okay. That is fucking dumb. And we are on low gain. If I flip that switch, number one, the noise floor picks up quite a bit. Like even out of this is an easy to drive headphone, but usually noise floor is more like an IEM thing. But it's like, like by the time the actual knob makes sound happen, it's too loud. It's all gone too loud. So that means you're going to be either crushing digital volume, which is not crushed here, thankfully. Fuck. So let's just save my pair of errors, because this is the oldest pair of errors. This is before the serial numbers even mattered. Let's put you back down and just like save you for another day. No one's ever blown up a set of errors, but this feels like it wants to. Let's move on to something, well, Serene, if you've not seen Serene. This is next collab. This is November the 5th of November, remember. That comes out. And yes, I am running it on an Eris cable for reasons which you'll see in the review. This is much harder to drive. In fact, this is like normal hard to drive headphone, hard to drive. Not absurdly tungsten hard to drive and not damn easy, but like, what's playing and when is it going to start? Oh, Dune is playing. All right, we don't want Dune. Dune's too risky. There we go. This is a hard to drive headphone. On low. I can now take it to about 11 o'clock. And you don't know this about Serene because they're not out yet. Serene, see, Eris didn't give a shit what you plugged it into. They didn't give a fuck. Tungsten cares. Doesn't give a fuck. Cares greatly what you plug it into. For quality reasons, not just powering. Quality. This, on the K13, God comes down and sings to you. This, on this, which I don't need know why I'm using an adapter and not plugging it directly in, it sounds like shit. Tungsten is like, all right, I'm getting away with it. It's like a lot of power. And from a sound quality perspective, from a straight, just I know what this headphone sounds like, and now I'm listening to the DAC and amp combo. It sounds mono. It sounds uselessly bad. Now, this is a very specific set of headphones that is going to tell you if something's good or bad. But I can tell you it does not sound... It sounds broken. Let's try it on high gain, even though these... It's so loud on high gain that the balance between the left and right doesn't even straighten out, and it's already fucking too loud. Oh, that's loud on a hard to drive headphone. That's loud. This is fucking silly. So now let's put on, I would say, more normal headphone, but come on, man. Do you think I even have a normal headphone anymore? In fact, I'm even whipping this thing out. I built this years and years and years ago, and I needed it for an IEM review I did about the United Airlines things. But this is a breakout box that takes balanced 4-pin and gives you TS connectors, or tip and ring, TR. And I would just get patch cables and then cut them in half, and then I could solder on the ends. And so I got to use very specific headphones. And when I was doing this, 3.5, like dual entry 3.5 was so rare that I didn't even make a fucking set. Got a whole box, and guess what's not in it? Just 3.5 to use on all these fucking headphones. So we're using the weird Mr. Speakers connectors on the Sendy Audio. Oh my God, I forgot the name of you. What the fuck are you? Quadformer technology. What's the name of these? I have literally 2 sets and I love them, and I've loved them forever. Penguin? Poconos? Portuguese. Relatively hard to drive planar, like that. Again, low gain, loud, right there, like unusable, anything past this. I don't understand. Even if this was designed for tungsten, it's fucking too loud. But still doesn't sound good. Like, so, all right, down, off, out, in, on, down. That is so much. That's just as hard. It's just as touchy through that. Maybe even more touchy. But it sounds good. The DAC in this is great. The R2R DAC is great. I don't know if it's as good as the FIO. The FIO is pretty fucking phenomenal from a DAC point of view. In fact, this is preamping. I could technically. Am I running off of this? No, Birdie Namnum's running off of that. I just put the other one in or trying the song. This feels like when you go into an EQ, and instead of gently adjusting like some things up and down to make things, they did the Zeos's 12 thing and went all the way up, all the way down, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. DAC is great. Volume is insane too much. Build quality is okay. It just, everything about it is like weird, and you have to really get used to it. So let's stop using the internal DAC. Although the DAC is probably the best part of this unit. Even preamping something like Valencia with it is use. I'd have to put the chokes here because the preamp volume is too fucking loud. But I want to use the DAC. Like, I'd love to use the DAC, but it's just so fucking overvoltaged, like crazy. So let's not use this at all anymore. Let's go back. So now we're going to use an external DAC. Come on, give me your fucking thingy things. External DAC. We're going to drop that fucker 30 decibels with chokes. 30. If you had just like a topping DAC or using like the K13, in fact, if you were using the K13, you would just set your volume output, not line out, pre-out it, set it to like 30 out of 100, and then you'd probably have a good ability to swing this. The problem is, I don't think the amplifier is good enough to deserve that. Let's go back to, all right, here, let's go back to you, Yonkai. This is the new collab. It's the one I've been using forever and sleeping with, and like, I know it's insides. I've taken it apart and done the mods on it multiple times. So now we got 30 decibels choked off of that, low gain. And I could actually max out the volume. So let's, we could just switch this to high gain. And now I can go noon. Now here's the weird thing. It sounds, let me make sure, let me just double check. Yeah, it sounds better off the external DAC through the amplifier than it does through its internal DAC through the amplifier. But the internal DAC through the pre-out sounds better than the external DAC through the pre-out into an external. You following any of this? Because it's hard for me, and I kind of prepped for this. So, all right. Do you want to buy the Silenos? Fine. It's not the best amplifier on planet Earth. It has an amazing DAC that's hard to get to because it's USB-C only, and I prefer my shit to be fiber optic or coaxial digital. Fine, whatever. USB only, it's R2R, fine. But then the pre-out is fucking spicy, no matter what high or low gain, because, I mean, so if you're going to pre-out with this to use the DAC, hopefully you don't have, like, I mean, you can technically use a Valencia if you've got a tungsten and it doesn't matter. But if you're trying to use, like, normal shit, get a one with a volume control so that you could volume control your volume control so you could volume all your volume, because you got to limit. Limiters is what's missing here. This thing has no limiters, and not in a good way, in the very, very fucking bad way. I also don't like the fact that the lock screw is lined up with the knob. Like, technically that's not the worst thing, because you could see where the volume is. Normally, you'd put it at the opposite end, like here, so that when you're using the knob, it's not a visible thing. But they just went with the same spot. All right, I guess. Because it was on high gain, I could hear when I raised the volume, even with these, and these are not easy to drive. So I was picking up some noise on high gain. All right, you know what? Let's drop these to 20 instead of 30. Put this back on low gain. Get off of the white stripes because their recording quality is shit. Oh, let's get ahead to where it's actually... So now it's like I'm going to take this all the way to negative 10. So now, 10 decibels cut off from the source. Low gain, vertical, hard to drive headphone. Sounds better than internal DAC at any setting at all. Are you following me? God, oh Christ, hope someone's following me. I was plugging in IEMs to this thing when I first put it on the desk, because that's my usual test. I do the IEM reviews here and I do headphone reviews here. And I plugged IEMs into Valencia, and whether I'm DACing with that, or just plugging IEMs in it, it's fine. Plugging IEMs into this was the worst idea I've ever had. And I only did it like twice. And then I'm like, no, that's not what this is for. I feel like this wants to be a speaker amp. Real bad. Like, they just ran out of space in the back, so like, I don't know, put a fucking 4.4. If you built a wire that plugged into that, and it gave you banana plugs, and then you plug those into some easy-to-drive speakers, it'd probably run them just fine. I know Valencia's got 17 watts, and to 8 ohms it has 7 watts, and you can run speakers on them. And this is 14 watts. Granted, that is at 10% distortion, which is fucking high, and you never want to touch anything near 10%. But I bet you'd still squeeze 4 or 5 watts out and be able to push a speaker. Yeah. Oh, now I want to complain for a split second about fucking 1/4-inch jacks. Where's my thing? All right, so you see this? See this? This is the most expensive 1/4-inch jack I think you could buy, or clone of one. They put this on the FANGSOUND, like the Nautilus, like the big fucking tube shit. And it's like, well, it's the most expensive. It's got to be the best. Like the XLR here, which has a push button because it locks things in place, this locks things in place. And therefore you have to push a button to remove it. Now, that sounds all good. Right into the point where you do this to get out of your chair. And your chair has an arm, and your headphone cord is around the arm, and your headphone cord just happens to be plugged into a locking jack. And so when you went like that with your 240-pound body, which I have a much heavier body than that, but I'm not going to say specifically what it is, all the shit in your desk just got yanked this way, or you broke something. So I'm forming a coalition of Zeos doesn't like locking connectors in anything. These, bad. Locking, bad. This, look. Oh, I yanked them out just like that. And guess what? Nothing broke. Now, I got a brand new ZMF over there with mini XLRs, and guess what those do? Lock. So we're going to have to take Zach behind the woodshed and hit him a couple times. I'd be like, Zach, we're done with mini XLR. It's time to go 3.5. Bokeh is my favorite headphone, not for just the reason that it's the best sounding one because it's the most fun, because it's got fucking 3.5s. No one needs locking fucking connector. On the back, for signal, fine. You don't want something to fall out, it's back there. But anything you're interacting with that's a fucking wire that might be on a headphone, it better not fucking lock. I didn't even want locks on the Valencia. See those? But as much as I tried to modify every single one of them before we send them out there, I had to bend a piece of metal and hope that over time it didn't collapse down, because then it would have literally locked permanently and no one would be able to get it out. So, and they couldn't find them to buy. It was a whole thing. I did not want locks on Valencia. The only thing that saves it is the goddamn 4.4 adapters, because then that would have been real weird. Then that could happen. It falls right out. Okay, good. So, final thoughts on this fucking thing. I hate that, whatever that is. I was actually going to get a paint marker and fill it in so you could really see it, but I don't want to give everyone a headache because I don't even know what the fuck. I love it as a proof of concept. If you're just looking for the banginest power amplifier for headphones for cheap, it's probably this one. There is the top. What's the topping? The L70 discrete is like 17 watts and only a little bit more money. Doesn't come with a DAC. The weirdest part of this fucking unit is that the DAC is actually really, really good. The R2R sounds warm and wide and nice, and preamping Valencia with it to run tungsten is a fucking joy. But preamping anything else is not a joy because it's too touchy. It's just so much touch. Everything about this is too much. They needed to just like have everything. Have the power, make the high-low gain like high and extremely low. And then everything will be sorted out because then you can flip the switch and you can actually run. If I can't bring a volume knob to like near half ever, minus tungsten, ever on a normal headphone, there might be something going wrong. The fact that I have to put chokes on it just to use the thing like normally, even if they're only 10 decibels, that's dumb. That's dumb. You dumb. You a dumb little boy. You so stupid. But you built like a fucking brick shit house and people love the way it looks. So it's going to sell. It's going to sell regardless. People are going to run to Linsol and buy a 14-watt headphone amp that is mediocre at best. Certainly unusably poor internal DAC. That combo don't work. External DAC, usable. Sounds much better. Not Valencia good, not like high-end shit good, but usable at least. And then trying to get to the DAC is just a fucking nightmare because it's all pre-out and it's like, I don't know. This unit infuriates me because I wanted to love it so much, but everything about it is so fucking weird. Look at this goddamn thing. And it's got a rear fucking on-off switch, which is just the worst. Just the worst. So yeah, FANGSOUND Silenos, or the FANGSOUND, if that's what you want to pronounce it as. It's fine with me. 30-day return policy. No reviews. Yeah, complimentary R2R decoding architecture. So I don't know how they'd fix any of this. The DAC's dynamic range is only 84 decibel. SNR is 84. These are kind of shit numbers. I mean, total harmonic distortion plus noise in the DAC is 0.1. That's fine for an R2R. R2Rs get like a little bit noisier, but that's the point. Yeah, but the amplifier is so weird. It's weirdly compressed feeling. But all right, wallpaper horde, or Imager if you know how to copy paste things. Links to this on Linsol. Thank you to them for sending it out. Let's see if I get the bigger boy to compare, because then we can. I mean, here's the thing. Here's another thing. See that? Forget Valencia. Forget fucking power. Forget if you need power. See that? That little fucker. That's $320 for the K13. That's an R2R DAC with a stupendously good 2.5 watt headphone out. And a better R2R DAC, and it's better. It's better. That FIO is way better than this for over $100 less. The only thing this has over that is raw power, But what good is raw power if it smells like dirty horse shit? So there's my review. Get a FIOK 13. I'll link it in the description. Didn't bring that up once. I just pointed at it. I'm like, yeah, get that. Nearly sucked that thing's dick right off its body. This, some hatred going on for it. Some hatred, some confusion, but I want to see what their bigger stuff does when they actually can spend some money on it. Because I feel like the DAC got a good chunk of that $400, and the amp did not get a big chunk of anything. So we good? I'm good. We're good. Serene's good. She says goodnight. You say goodnight. I say goodnight. Patreon subscribe to support this channel. If you want to see reviews like this early, participate in yard sales, get to lossless sound demos, which I'm going to go record one right the fuck now. It's been since January and it's October. It's been 10 months since the last time I've uploaded a sound demo. And that's on me and a little bit on you guys. If you love the sound demos, please let me know. If you don't remember the sound demos, because they used to be on YouTube, they're no longer there because fucking playing music through YouTube is like, I may as well put a bunch of guns in my mouth and then pull all the triggers and see if any of them are loaded. Copyright strike, and I'm dead. So all those sound demos are now behind the slight little baby paywall for Patreon and Subscribestar. You can check out those. And then I just actually demo headphones and speakers with my $1,500 microphone investment. So I got to make that money back. So if you'd like to listen to sound demos, please feel free to join up. I actually have a couple of them free to share on Telegram for the public Z reviews. Maybe I'll throw a bunch of them in there just to wet people's whistles. But yeah, $7 a month, see reviews early, participate in yard sales, get to lossless sound demos, which will actually have new sound demos. And for $15 a month, you get into the behind-the-scenes Telegram chat to ask me questions directly. You'll know exactly what I'm reviewing, when I'm reviewing, what my collabs are coming out with, all the behind-the-scenes shit. And you get into the Swap Meet channel with over 400 members where you get to buy, sell, and trade gear in a private little environment. It's so nice. And yeah, we good? We're good. We're good. We're good.